It's 5 o'clock Eastern time. I was on Newsmax this morning early, right when the market opened, and then was on Fox this afternoon and thought I should probably jump on here with all of you and talk about what is going on. What a crazy day it has been. Obviously, Trump is talking about reciprocal tariffs. Everybody is talking about it. Everybody's also talking about the price of eggs and what that means and how that applies to inflation and the economy. And so I thought, why not jump on here, talk a little bit about it. I also need to get a little more comfortable with how these lives work because I really don't know. I don't know how you comment on the live. I don't know how I see your comment. I don't really know anything about this yet. We are just trying this live element to see if we can figure it out. And so far, I don't really know how to figure it out. So if you are commenting, maybe just comment where you're seeing this so that I know. And then once I can watch this replay, I can figure it out. Because I don't think I see your comments here. I think I also have to have my phone up and look at your comments there. New at this. So hopefully somebody can help me out and tell me where we can see it all. But man, crazy, right? RFK gets confirmed today. And I think a lot of people don't realize how crazy that whole thing really is. I mean, obviously, a Democrat coming from a family of Democrats, he now gets confirmed. We have photos of him in the Oval Office with his beautiful wife holding the Bible, and he is being sworn in. And he just released this statement that said, a lot of people told me that I should not trust President Trump and that I should get this writing in agreement, but we only had a handshake. And every single thing that President Trump promised me, he has done. He has done more than he even said. And I believe that President Trump is a revolutionary president. It's a really incredible thing coming from obviously a family of Democrats. RFK took on a lot of heat during these confirmation hearings. There are a lot of people, if you look at one of my ex tweets that I posted, you'll see that there's a lot of people inside of our government that their campaigns are funded by big pharma. So there was a lot to lose by having him come in and shaking up the Department of Health. So it was really a historic day, I think, more than the media is giving it credit of seeing what's going on here with him being confirmed. And I think that a lot of this tariff talk is what is taking precedent in the news. And so that's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I was on Newsmax and Fox talking about because really it has been a core campaign promise from Trump to implement these reciprocal tariffs. And a lot of people are saying, this is going to drive up inflation. This is going to hurt the American people. But I think what we're missing is that the tariff is just one part of the overall plan of how to stimulate, how to grow the economy, and not just band-aid fix, but actually solve it. And so I wanted to chat a little bit about that because we saw that the Prime Minister of India was in. We saw that President Trump was talking with him about, India has basically skated by the tariffs. They are charging us tariffs. We have not been charging them tariffs. And I think having a fair bilateral trade deal with other countries is really the core of what it's going to take for us to solve our economy, our deficit. And obviously, we're seeing a lot coming across happening in a very very short period of time, which is exciting to see. India on average charges us anywhere from 10 to 17% on goods, and the US is getting anywhere from 0 to maybe 2 or 3%. And overall, countries are charging us anywhere on average, it's about 17%, and our average is about 3%. So I think President Trump wanting to, not just with India, because we are the largest trade partner of India for 129 million billion dollars, excuse me, 129 billion dollars in 2024. I think this is his way of making sure that the American people are taken care of. Now, why is this just one small part in the overall economic approach? Is because tariffs is what we need to get started. We need to collect money that is external from not just from our citizens, where we are taxing our own people, but that we are then claiming tax, if you will. A tariff is just a tax from other countries and bringing that revenue in. It's the way that our country operated prior to 1913, before the IRS really started establishing this income tax, which, by the way, started at 1%, if you can believe it. Now it's almost half of everything between state and all the other baked in taxes, indirect and direct taxes that we pay. So prior to 1913, this is how our government made money. Trump is really saying, how can we bring some of these tariffs back? Now, remember, too, I think there's a misconception that tariffs are new. Not only are they not new in collecting revenue, but they already exist. Trump did this in 2018. Biden kept a lot of the tariffs that were in place. Some of them he rolled back, but there are some version of tariffs is the way that the trade agreements operate all throughout the world. All we are doing and all President Trump is doing for us, for Americans, is increasing some of these so there is more of a bilateral, fair approach to the tariffs. So, really, what this is doing is it's just one small part of the overall approach of what it's going to take to get our country back. To lower the deficit, to stop overspending, and so that American people have more money in their pocket. And so, trade agreements is first. And really, what this is going to do is we are going to be able to lower taxes so that Americans have more money in their pocket. And when we have more money here, when we are charging tariffs for products that are created in other countries, what's going to happen, even if those tariffs are somewhat passed on to the consumer, right? Even if for some reason the Canadian tariffs are in place and all of a sudden, your Crown Royal that you buy at the store is 20% more. Well, maybe that's what's going to do is have you take a look and see if there is another alternative. And then those companies that are produced in America that have American jobs and American focus, they're going to pay less taxes. Right now, what's happening is our own companies, our own businesses are paying absorbent amount of taxes to produce a product, but yet somebody else can produce a product overseas and ship it over here and maybe get 2, 3, 4, 5%, depending on the industry. And at some point, you have to say, this is just not fair. Shouldn't we reward the entrepreneurs, the companies, and the workers inside of the United States who are producing products for our people? Shouldn't we reward them? Shouldn't they maybe pay at least the same, if not less, than what some other company is paying that brings their products over here and sells it to all of us customers, the American citizens, because we have the strongest economy in the world? I think that that is what we're trying to do. I think that's what the administration is trying to do. And again, it's only one small approach. We need to have these tariffs so we can increase revenue, so we can drive down taxes. And in doing so, what also is going to be happening simultaneously is if we can reduce the cost of oil and we can reduce the cost of fuel, we can reduce the cost of shipping and production. And that is going to overall lower the price of the goods that we produce here in our country. Now, this is not some overnight solution. And a lot of people are claiming, well, the eggs are going up and, prices aren't coming down. And he said that prices are going to be coming down. Well, the prices didn't go up overnight, and they're certainly not going to be reduced overnight as well. The eggs are a completely separate situation. The eggs have nothing to do with tariffs, nothing to do with the economy or inflation. Eggs have to do with a virus, a virus that killed and obviously caused the prior administration to slaughter hundreds of millions of chickens. So it's a simple supply and demand. We have less chickens, we have less eggs. And this didn't just affect the farms that had the virus infected chickens. This is well known. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. There's a lot of Amish in Pennsylvania. And this is something that they said themselves. They didn't even have sick chickens, but the farm down the road did. When the FDA came in and tested, I'm sorry, the Department of Agriculture came in and tested, they said our chickens aren't even sick, but because they were in proximity to these other infected farms, they too had to euthanize all of their chickens. So once the chicken population is able to be increased again and this virus is under control, obviously there will be more egg production, which is going to drive down the overall cost of eggs. That one item, eggs, in the overall report is really what's driving up, which we just saw a couple days ago, kind of created this little bit of a sell off in the market, all because of eggs and really having nothing to do with the tariffs, with inflation, with the economy. So I think what we're going to see over time is this is not going to be an overnight fix. It was not an overnight creation of the problem. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but we're already seeing country by country President Trump having these discussions, finding out what is a fair deal, doing these reciprocal tariffs, whether they start March 1st, April 1st, whenever that may be, and just getting America into a better position so that we can start collecting revenue from outside just our own tax basis in our country. And then, of course, what also is going to drive down inflation? when we stop printing money, when we stop overspending. So now at the same approach, not only are we trying to get in better trade deals and better situations where we're increasing tariffs, we're going to drive down taxes so that our people are paying less. Our government is going to be more efficient and more responsible. So it is going to be spending less money. And really, that less spending, reducing the deficit, reducing spending is also going to drive down inflation. And then if we can get Fed Chair Powell on board and he reduces interest rates, my gosh, the economy is going to be booming like the 1990s again. And I think so many of us, if you just use common sense approach, common sense economics, and you don't get into the politicalness of the person and you just look at the policies and the positions that are being taken, you can pretty clearly see in just a very common sense approach that all of this together, when it all pays off together, is obviously going to have a positive effect on the stock market. It's going to have a positive effect on the economy. And that is going to be a direct positive effect on every single hardworking American in our country. So I wanted to just jump on. I was hoping that I could also engage with some of you, but I haven't yet figured out how to do that. So I may not be able to do that with you, but I wanted to jump on because tariff talk has been through my mind all day today. That's all I've been talking about. So I wanted to jump on. We were actually going to be in Abu Dhabi doing on Sky News tonight also, but I actually wasn't feeling the greatest. So I said, Sky News, I'll get back to you. So if you're watching, I apologize. I will get back to you, I promise. But I just wanted to jump on here and talk all about it because it is a hot topic. Everybody's talking about it. And I think it's important to really get the full approach. And we have a comment, Alex from Canada. So I guess I can see comments. Now I don't know where it says YouTube. Yay. All right. I think it does come through on our platform, which is so exciting. This is a brand new tech thing for us. Tariffs and the economy is not new for me, but how to run a live chat is. We're always new at something, so we're always learning and growing. So hi, Alex from Canada. That's exciting. But I wanted to just jump on really quick and talk about this because it's something that's top of mind. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and a lot of people are talking about this. Are my cost of goods going to increase? Or all of my expenses going to increase? And if you're concerned about that, I actually just dropped a podcast over on the Candy Valentino show where you can listen on Apple or Spotify or YouTube. I don't think the YouTube video is up yet, but the audio is on Apple. And you can listen to all about how to overcome this. We actually talked about an approach that Coca Cola, Ford Motor Company, and Elon Musk inside of Tesla and X implement. And this is something that it's really a financial method, a financial tool that entrepreneurs can use when they are coming against uncertain times or difficult economic times and they're unsure what to do, and maybe sales aren't as strong as they were, or maybe they don't have as much profit because staffing and expenses are increasing. I broke down, it's only about 15 minutes. So head over to Apple if you want, if you have a business. And if you don't, this is something you can apply in your personal finances too. But again, it's the Candy Valentino Show over on Apple, or you can go to candyvalentinoshow.com, I think is our website, where we talk all about this. And really what it is, it's zero-based budgeting, how to extract everything out of your budget and make really intelligent decisions about what expense goes back in over to achieve your overall goal. And again, this could be business or personal. So if that's of interest to you, there is about a 15-minute episode. Go check it out. We just dropped it today. Okay, guys, thanks so much. This is fun. All the tariff talk, it's going to be good. It's going to be great. I promise. Just stay the course. Don't worry about the eggs. That's going to come down too. And we're going to get through this together. God bless you. Have a great night.